Hi, Collective. I hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy with good people, in good places, doing good things. All right. Some of the things that came up in my downloads for this reading were about psychoterror. That's what these people are experiencing, the same psychoterror that they wanted to put you through, and you went through it gracefully, might I add. That's what the tower means every time that comes up for them in the readings. Psychoterror. All this stuff swishing and swirling through their mind, and they can't make sense of most of it. Okay? If they can make sense of any of it at all. Now, they also were in this energy of, remember that fence? And I said, they're behind that fence. But in other readings, it's come out where like it's a fence around you. Jesus be a fence, right? They thought, one of the weird things is they thought you were joking about who you were. They thought you were joking about the things that you were committed to, right? Now, what I've realized in the most recent downloads that I got is, the question came to me is like, is the fence up to keep you out or is it to keep them in? A lot of them are realizing that that fence that they put up was something that they were told to do to keep you out. But just like all the other lies and malicious adventures, it was literally to keep them in that sunken place. Okay. They out here, they was sitting there thinking they were free. They were sitting there thinking they were free. 100. They thought they was free the whole time, Collective. They thought that they were free the entire time. Wow. This notification that just came on my phone says, man allegedly admits Phoenix apartment shooting. I don't know what that got to do with it, but you know. So one of the things that I've been adamant about communicating from the very beginning when I started doing these readings is that I was someone who believed in the Bible. Not that I don't. I believe that all the books carry information and we're supposed to not just read the scripture, but to also digest it. And we're also supposed to examine it. Okay. And I've talked about in many of my previous readings about how I would get up before I got into the tarot cards and crystals and, you know, all the rest of that, how I would get up every day at 4:00 in the morning and read my Bible. And what I made sure I would mention is that I never had there was no script. There was no script for me. It was, I'm just going to let the Bible plop open to where I feel that God is guiding me. Okay. They didn't think that God was guiding you, Collective. They did not think that. Now recently, I stumbled in this bookstore and I got this Bible. Got a couple other books too. One called Christian Spirituality, the Classics. I've yet to dig into that as much as I would like. But today it plopped open right here. An Old Testament reading of Deuteronomy chapters 2:24 to 4:14. Now, for those of you guys who don't believe in the Bible, I'm sorry for you. Because like I said from the beginning of this, I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Torah. I believe in all of these books. They all hold information, correct? That's usually what books are for. But nonetheless, that people, listen, I'm going to just leave that alone. We'll leave it where it was. But today, Collective, I don't know where you were 95 days ago, 3 months ago. Was it April back then? Let's see. May, June, July, August, September, October. No. But maybe April 5th is significant. When I got this Bible, I told the lady, I'm going to start trying to read one, section every day for my birthday. So that way, when I end it, it's on my birthday. I thought that I was being fancy. That's what I'll be doing when I be thinking, I'll be fixing to be fancy. All right. Now, what it opened on today, I was just kind of like, oh, it's an Old Testament reading, right? Deuteronomy is Old Testament. And it talks about the defeat of Sihon, king of Heshbon. It talks about the defeat of Og, king of Bethshan. It talks about the division of the land, right? It talks about how Moses is forbidden to cross the Jordan. And it talks about obedience commanded. I'm going to leave it there. I was going to highlight some stuff. I wasn't going to highlight some stuff. But all you need to know, the things that stuck out to me most, it says, at that time, we took all his cities. I don't know. Maybe Phoenix is one of them that's being taken now. Maybe that's why that came up on my phone. Another thing that I noticed, that it says, begin to take possession of it and engage him in the battle. Okay. This very day, I will begin to put terror and fear of you on all the nations under heaven. They will hear reports of you and will tremble and be in anguish because of you. Not saying my readings already said that, but my readings already said that. Another thing that stood out to me. Let's see. They talked about here in this story, in this Old Testament reading, about how they agreed not to go to this side or that side, but to stay straight on this certain path and not to take food or do any of that anywhere else. And that's what you did, collective. You've never been asking for more than what you deserve, right? And that you deserve so much more than what you've already had. Okay. Now, another part, they're standing out right now. It says, now begin to conquer and possess his land. So you're taking over, is what I'm understanding. You're taking over. It says, at that time, we took all his towns and completely destroyed them, men, women, and children. We left no survivors. That part came up several times. Read it for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Read it for yourself. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Read it for yourself. Worry about yourself. So they're behind this fence that they put up. The funny thing is, if we've said it many times before, I've said it for sure in my readings, that even if I showed them the playbook, if I showed them exactly what I did, they wouldn't believe us anyway, because their goal was always to, be in this energy of like, oh, the collective's lying. Oh, the collective's telling stories. Oh, the collective don't really love God. Oh, collective ain't really working in the right, way that they should. Whatever. Now, main point I want to say is that I tried to tell them. I did, collective. We're in this energy of listen to me now or believe it later. Unfortunately for them, they're believing it later. They're in that energy. Okay. They're also in this energy of where they're trying to rewrite reality to make sense of you. They're trying to rewrite reality to make sense of you. Well, you've shown them exactly who you were. You've shown them exactly how you get down. You've shown them all of this stuff. But they're still in this energy of trying to rewrite reality to make sense of you. When what they look at when they see you is a cold, calculated piece. They see a knowledge gap, okay? They see you as a glitch in the matrix, right? The matrix that they live in. They see you as a glitch in the matrix that they live in. And they keep coming back empty-handed. They keep coming back empty vessels. They keep coming back empty, right? Nothing they can use against you. There's nothing that they can use against you. They've seen that for themselves. There's nothing we can use against this person. But yet, are they still trying, or have they figured it out? Okay. You have this quiet, terrifying confidence. To them, you look like somebody who knows something that they don't. Okay. That you don't have any scandals, no breakdowns. The knowledge gap is driving them to the end of their sanity. They want to know what you know. They want to know how you did it. They want to know who you worked with. They want to know that you worked with God. That was your whole point of separating you from them, was so that you could see God. You could hear God. You could understand God. You could know God. You could sit in a wonderful place. Okay? You could sit at the table. When they turned you away from theirs, they didn't know. They were putting you right in the direction. And you didn't veer off that path, like the Bible scriptures will say. Go ahead and take a look at them later. Deuteronomy 2:12 to 4:14. Okay? Now, they didn't see any scandals, no breakdowns. They know that this knowledge gap is driving them to the end of their sanity. Their sanity is at the end of. They're at the end of their sanity. They can't fathom that. It's too many things discombobulating. They're watching you like people watch a storm. You ever watch a storm before? You half fascinated, half terrified, looking at it like, wow. I recently watched a storm out of my window. I opened up the window just so I could see the light show. That's how I felt about it. I want to see this. Could it have come and struck something down on me? Absolutely. But I was still just going to watch it, right? That's where they're at. They're watching you like a storm approaching them. Half fascinated and half terrified, but unable to look away. Their energy is constantly clinging to your every move. So when you hear things like, oh, they're your energy, that's them trying. Let me explain something real quick. I'm going to stop, pause. Okay, for a second. When someone says that they're in your energy and you're like, they're not in my energy, they are in your energy. They're in the energy of the person that you used to be. They're in the energy of the person that you used to be. Now, if they are in the energy of the person that you used to be, it's correct both ways, right? And again, we might get on some things that kind of become a little bit Buddhist, where it's not true or false, right or wrong. What really is it? Because that's all we've been desiring to know, is like, what really is 1111? What really is the purpose of this life? What really is it that I'm supposed to be pursuing? Yada, 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 right? That's how they feel about it. You've been telling them this the whole time. Like I said in one of my old readings, you could give them every detail. They still wouldn't believe you. Nah, you didn't do this. Nah, you didn't do that. I know you was doing this. I just feel it. What they feel is their own energy. What they feel is the energy of the person that you used to be. Now, I will go further even in that to say, those of you who have studied your own birth chart, who have looked into your north node, who are in your north node, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that you looked into that, you saw, okay, my north node is Aries, and you took all the good traits, all the positive traits of an Aries, and you started to put them in action. You enacted the power of the Aries. And that's why I say people need to be more abstract and learn about all the different things in their astrological chart, all the different astro whatevers. You see, and some people might even laugh at that. She doesn't even know the this. She doesn't even know the that. I don't need to know everything. I need to know what's pertinent to me. You didn't need to know everything that they were doing, collective. You just need to know what was pertinent for you to understand and what lessons you need to learn through that. Okay? So now their energy is clinging to your every move. And you know they're watching you. You always have. It's their desperate need to see you fail. Okay? Waiting to see you prove that you're just like them. Okay? You let them watch while you performed. Because that's what they were doing. Wasn't they all just watching you, seeing how you would do, seeing what was how you were going to respond, all the rest of that, right? You let them watch while you performed. And while they were watching you perform, it put them in the audience. They didn't see that switch of seats, right? They thought you were paying attention to them. Like they say, oh, this person thought you was going to be all, all in their grill. That's not what happened. Now they're stuck in the audience, 1331 on the clock. And now that they're stuck in the audience, they're unable to leave or to stop theorizing you. They're unable to stop theorizing you. They can't even get out of their seats. Like I said, watching the storm, right? So now that they're stuck in the audience, right? And you gave them front row seats, collective. You gave them front row seats to your resurrection. You gave them front row seats to your resurrection. The whole time, the answer was already simple, but it was so unbearable for them. The answer was always sitting right there in their faces. You showed them that you were a good person. You showed them that you were loyal. You showed them that you were patient. You showed them that you would fight when you needed to. Sometimes you fought on their behalf. You put everything into place for people so that they could just go and retrieve it. They couldn't even be bothered. Okay, to get up and retrieve it for themselves. You know why? Because they're stuck in the audience, unable to leave or stop theorizing. Why is this person doing this for me? And they know I'm this and that and the other. So you let them continue watching the show. The answer is simple. Again, the answer is simple, but it's so unbearable for them. It's so unbearable for them to understand and to comprehend that you just wanted it more. You wanted it more than them. You wanted it so much more than them that you sacrificed more. You became more, and they stayed exactly where they were, watching, waiting, whispering, ultimately decomposing in the seat, if you will. I remember that something like that came across my feed. You know, stuff you come across the feed about this girl who basically just sat on the couch until her body just, ew. You know how a body disintegrates and like becomes that nasty sticky puddle? She literally became a puddle. And I was just constantly thinking, like, how come this person's family didn't see this? How come this person's family didn't stop and say, this person hasn't moved for about 12, 11 days. We need to do something. 1551. They were stuck in their seats watching, right? They were stuck in the audience. How's this going to turn out for this person? That was also part of their defiance. They had no conviction. All they had was aggression. That's them in that Seven of Wands. So while these people stayed exactly where they were, watching, waiting, whispering, decomposing inside, you was out there reaching for the victory. It was watching you, right? Always are. Now, one of the things too that bothered me the most when I started going to a specific church, I love the church, but I was so like, oh my gosh, why are they, singing rap songs? Not actually rap songs, but music that had the same type of, vibration as a rap song would in church. And I was always like, oh, I don't like that. Until I came across a singer that I was just kind of like, wow, you put it together. It was Tye Tribbett, okay? I'm not saying nothing more about anybody's lives that I bring up except for the points that I make in the situations that I'm completing for you, okay? Okay. It was Tye Tribbett. Then I was like, okay, I know I need to listen to these songs to maybe get a few different vibrations moving. Again, 17 o'clock. I was told to go pick up that Bible and just open up again so I could understand. Because sometimes, even though you know, God wants you to know for sure. Okay? All right. The songs that I listen to is Tye Tribbett, We Gonna Be All Right. Tye Tribbett, He Turned It. I love that one. Tye Tribbett, If He Did It Before, He Will Do It Again. Now, what some people don't know is, okay, so this is the other song that I listen to is God's Got a Blessing with my name on it. These are all funny that they came up to because when I was listening, I was like, oh, that's where these people finna be. Because I remember when these songs started resonating with me, I was going through a lot of trying times and I was trying to greater my faith. I was trying to strengthen my faith. I was trying to, blossom it into something that would be, undoubtable. My faith is not something that other people can comprehend, nor can they copy, nor can they eliminate, something that was just better than ever. And that God's got a blessing with my name on it, right? God's got a blessing with my name on it. Whether you believe that God is all of us, whether you believe God is someone in the sky, or whether you don't believe in God at all, God's got a blessing with my name on it. Okay. I didn't ever really sing the lyrics too much as like with yours because I wanted it to be mine. I wanted it to identify with me. For some of these people, because these songs are coming up for me, God's got a lesson. God's got a lesson. God's got a lesson with their names on it. They better believe it. With their names on it. With their names on it. So the other songs I said, if he did it before, he'd do it again, right? Same God. It's the same God. That's what they failed to realize too. They thought because, oh, this person has got crystals. Oh, this person's burning incense. Oh, this person's got tarot cards. Oh, this person went, and saw a Vedic astrologist. They was promising they don't serve the same God we do. You know what? I'm going to leave that right where it is. That's what they thought. They'll teach them to think, huh? They've been thinking wrong this whole time. And for a long time. Think long, think wrong, right? Because they've been at it for a long time, thinking wrong of you, right? That's where they went wrong. Now, Tye Tribbett, Work It Out. Tye Tribbett, Victory. Oh, And the one that goes back to where we begin, and we'll end it off here, is Fred Hammond. Jesus be a fence around me. They thought that fence was for them, their protection. They didn't know that everything that they rejected in you was about to shape itself into something so beautiful. Ooh-wee. Is this even the right deck? I've been told I could get a few out of here. That being said, let's get into what the cards say for today. What do the cards say? Ooh, that's a thick little stack there. Spend time with the animals. You know, I do a lot of bird watching. Some of this is actually teaching these people what we already told them. Since they want to sit in the audience, they kind of stuck to their seat, right? Meditating. Tried to tell them. Not on the collective, too. That just seems absurd, because when I sit down and meditate, I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on all of my chakras and what they're supposed to be doing, right? Connecting with the earth. I talked a lot about how when I was still in the energy of every day reading my Bible, every day doing this and that and the other, that one of the things that I also did every day was connecting with the earth. I would go hiking every day in the dark, in the rain, so on and so forth. Resting. That's the one thing these people really don't get. They may try to spend time with animals. They may try to meditate. They may try to connect to the earth, and they may try to rest. But one of the things that they don't really understand is rest. Being so adventurous in the night. Being so adventurous to keep coming for you. They won't let it rest. And that's why their spirits are in unrest. Because they wouldn't let it rest regarding you. That's why their spirits are in unrest. Their spirits will remain in unrest until they rest with approaching you, trying to see what you're doing, copying you, mimicking you, this and that and the other, whatever. And aromatherapy. Oh, smells so good. Smells so good, don't you agree? That's one of the things I also always did. I even had a air diffuser that was strictly for my vacations, okay? Strictly for my vacations, okay? I would get into all the other things, but I don't think that they're ready for that. I just do not. All right, let's see. Tell us more. Tell us more. Ooh. Spending time with the animals. Yeah. They thought by you being out, wandering on your own, being forced to spend time with animals, that exile that they thought you was being in. Because I see that over here. This exile. That by shunning you, they were doing the right things. Yeah. Ooh, that went in reverse for real. Ooh-wee. They weren't enlightened to this. The star in reverse. They have no hope. They've lost all hope and serenity. Like I said, their mental capacity is kaput. You ever hear about somebody whose brain is mush? That's the energy I'm getting right now. Brain is complete mush. Complete mush. Yeah. Wow. It's like where they could have been sitting in the temple with their wand, they chose to use it in the reverse. They don't sit in any temples. They don't believe in God. They don't believe that God can work through you. You know, that's the illusion that they let themselves stay in. And they work hard to make sure that everybody else, you know, that they painted a picture. Can you paint butterfly wings? No, you cannot, because they're butterflies. They are natural. Natural. Made by God. Yeah, they stayed in this devil energy. I ain't got to say it too many times for people to understand. But that's what confused them the most. How are we working with the this and that? Ooh-wee. These cards are just calling them out. Instead of meditating and going within, they meditated on you. How do you do that? Like I said, when I sit down and meditate, I sit down and focus on me. I sit down and focus on how I want to be a lighthouse for myself, for my ships to come in, you know, for whatever birds is watching. You see him over there. You know, that's what I sit and meditate about. That's what you've been doing, collective. You decided to, okay, I can't just be a lighthouse anymore because they don't see me. They don't see me, so I'm going to sit on top of it so my ships know where to come in with my name on it. Ooh, somebody getting a yacht? Ooh, I'm like, ooh, Emperor, you getting a yacht? Ah, look at this. You getting a yacht full of love with your name on it. King of Swords. Look at you. Look at this. All right, what's the next one? Oh, I gotta love it. That's... I'm just laughing so hard because these cards keep being like, nope, it's in the reverse for them. Nope, it's in the reverse for them because they set with this reverse mindset about who you were. Okay, and they watched waiting for you to prove it. And you never proved it. You never proved that you were just like them. You know why? Because you're not. You've always been set apart. You've always been different. Yeah, I'm different. It's 25:52 on the clock. Chariot in reversed. Like I said, they thought you going hiking was your exercise. And they can't stand that. All collective just think they better than us because they go to the top of the mountain every day. Yep, to the top of the mountain every day. See you up there or not. I can see you from up there. You know, that was one of the other things that I enjoyed too at the top of the mountain. There's this feeling of, oh, you've made it, but then you got to go down. And like I said, when you go down the mountain, you got to be a lot more careful. So if it's still dark or if it's still raining, you got to be a lot more careful. They have no movement whatsoever. Okay? They have no way whatsoever to connect with the earth. Think about the times, collective, when you were free, but you couldn't get up and do something. You couldn't get up and go. Think about that. Think about that Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands energy that you used to be kept in. That's what this is representing to me. They're now feeling that same entrapment. They are now feeling that same entrapment. They want to complete it, but they have to go through that Ten of Swords. They have to complete the process of defeat and loss and crisis. They have to defeat the process of burdens and responsibilities before they can even get to having the things that they used to have again, or things that they used to do and found so much joy in. Do you know when I couldn't get up to the top of that mountain, I would feel so hurt. I would feel so hurt because I could see the mountain from where I live. I felt so hurt. That's the same energy they're in right now. King of Swords, you out here again. You must be looking good too while you're out here cutting it up, telling people what's what. And then sleeping like a baby on cloud 9. Oh, I just saw the Queen of Pentacles too. Money, 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 money. Money. Not the way these people look at money. It's what they think empowers them. But you know that money is a tool. It doesn't empower you. You know, that's not how you roll. This the rest card, something they could not do. They don't think about their actions before they get on the road. They don't think about, oh, the tank has 16 gallons. It costs, you know, especially if you're traveling over state lines, it costs, let's say you're coming from California, it costs more in California than it does when you get to Nevada. Okay, so we got to account for the fact that there's going to be more here, less here, and we need how many gallons? They can't even do the math on this. Yep. Whoa. The fact that they will not let it rest is what's taking their money away. What I'm seeing here is that they're going to have to learn how to plant these seeds and how to make these leaves breathe from deep down underneath the earth. Well, you resting easy like a baby. And they keep, you know why? Because they keep thinking about how you sleep and what they're going to do at night and this and that and this and that. That's why their money's been put to a rest. I tried to tell them. Their heart feel bigger than them now. They feel like their heart's bigger than them because they hurting. They hurting out here. They were so in love with money. For the love of money. What else? Ooh. One of their biggest problems, they can't create this aromatherapy. Their aura smells like trash. They out here with their aura smelling like straight trash. La basura. Okay. Some of these people even have issues. Okay. It's their issue, not yours. You ever hear somebody else like, Collective, learn that from me. I taught Collective that. I taught Collective how to jump through the hoops and da 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 da. Some of these people may even be looking at it like, oh, I gave Collective this way to do this, right? They're trying to steal your joy and talk. But really, what they're saying is like, you may even use, you know how I saw a post long time ago, how somebody put up a post that said something about their exes out there using their lingo with the new person. What does it matter? It doesn't matter where they got the this or that or the other from. It's where they got the actual power to be able to use it, that it would be effective, right? Whatever it is. If it's lingo that's funny to other people, if it's, you guys talked about a business idea and they say, oh, you should add candles to that. You should add candles to your bath salts. You should add candles to your this. It's not about who presents something. It's about who's smart enough to go and use it. Some of my other notes said, you could go and ask a 23-year-old millionaire, what they did, how they became a millionaire so young. And they could tell you every single detail. That does not mean that you'll be able to go out and do the same thing. Right? These people are their aroma, they're gonna be in a process of learning how to make their aura smell like love. Can you imagine that? Smelling like trash? It ain't enough. It's not something they can wash off either. It's not something that they can wash off at all. Because they're in this energy of having to face this new beginning, right? Take a look. It's in a book. They're going to have to pick up the books that they've, denounced instead of these spell books and stuff like that. Yeah. They're going to have to do that to try and put themselves in an energy to even know what personal power is. What's funny is every time in these cards, the person is sitting on top of the world. Collective, you've been showing them this whole time. They thought you looked stupid sitting on top of the house. They thought because they put you there, holding the weight of the world in your hands. They thought you was wilding out, putting the flower in front of the bird as you led it, as you guided, using it as a chariot. Yeah, they thought. Teach them to think. Like I said, was that fence up to keep you out? Or to keep them in? They're realizing this fence we put up is actually keeping us stuck. Okay, I'm being told to get these cards because they've been ultra significant. They didn't think you would connect with your. They didn't think that you would connect with your ancestors. That's what I'm getting from Indigenous person, and find the fire for this leadership, and become something classical antiquity. Yeah, they thought that they were shunning you with this cult. They really thought that. They thought they were putting all this psychological and verbal abuse on you, and that you would be this possessive person wanting to love somebody. You did want to love somebody. They thought that would bring you to either, they had planned this for you, right? They thought that they was going to do this, get you to do this to yourself, right? At some point. But the lesson here for them about leadership and classical antiquity is that they are the underground civilization. That's where they're going, underground. All of this psychological and verbal abuse is now that tower that they see for themselves. That's, what is it? Psychoterror that they're under. These mental breakdowns that they keep having. Yeah. And you over here dancing, do, because you wouldn't conform. That's bringing them trauma. That's the trauma that they're facing on their own. Every time you take a move, every time you do a two-step collective, look, every time you do a two-step, every time. Those songs, they're going to be reaching for those songs I just listed so heavy. They're going to be reaching for that because they're in this physical limitation. They're in this physical limitation because they chose to be atheists, to not believe. They heard the music, but they chose not to believe. Again, they watched you perform. They sat in the audience watching you perform, right? All right, what else is out? I'm sorry, I'm laughing again because these are so in the reverse. What is it? Ooh, like I said, this material loss for them, it's philosophical. It's a philosophical material loss. Let me look up the definition so I'm not pretending like them. Because we're not like them. That's what they were saying the whole time too. Oh, collective ain't like us. But they wanted to put you in situations and circumstances so that you would display something that they already knew wasn't true. Don't that just sound confusing in itself, right? How that make that? No, don't make it make sense because it ain't. Don't even try. It's not worth it. That's what they're realizing too. It's not worth it. Let's see. What am I looking up? Philosophical. Relating or to devoted to the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. This material loss is going to be upon them until they relate with or devote themselves to the study, not even to the lifestyle, just to studying it. Okay? Not watching, creeping, looking, trying to possess. They possess nothing. They don't even possess themselves anymore. Remember, these are empty vessels that we're talking about. People were used despite what they saw. But now they have to be in this energy of material loss until they relate or devote themselves to the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. I got the victory, got the victory. I be getting tired of having to tell people. I tried to tell them. That was another meme that one of my old clients put up on his page. And what was odd was that this man was bipolar or schizophrenic. And the reason that I knew this is because things were happening throughout the process of their transaction that it was like, well, why would you do that? Like they knew they had like, let's say 4 to 6 months. Okay, I'm making this up. They knew they had 4 to 6 months before they would actually be in the right position and have had the tenure on their job that they needed in order to get their loan approved, right? And then right between that 4 to 6 month period, the person decides to go be self-employed. And then when they show up and unbeknownst to me, they show up to go look at places, right? And I could smell, again, their aromatherapy is reeking right now. I could smell, what is it called? I could smell the medication on him. Like there's a certain medication that they use for bipolar and schizophrenia, like when someone's been off their meds, and it smells like sulfur. I could smell, and it's like something that you can smell from far away. Some people might actually not realize that's what it is. They may think that it's their breath. No, it's their stomach, and it smells like sulfur because they had to recalibrate their meds. Some of these people are going to be starting that process. It's like, oh, now we're going to just have to calibrate because you was never on the stuff you should have been on. You was on this other stuff. These are the people that betrayed you. Decidedly so. So they didn't go within. They didn't meditate on what they should have. Ooh, I didn't want to talk about it, but I guess I'm going to be talking about it. So sometimes in my dreams, I'm aware of the fact that what I'm doing in the dream is actually witnessing. It's like, can you imagine being in a car accident in a dream, but you're watching? You're not hurt. You're not displaying anything. Like the medics come and you're still just watching it. You were in the car. You were this and that and the other. You know, you watched it tumble over. That's what I saw. Somebody is going to be in some type of accident because they were being this obsessive lover. And don't take it the wrong way. Obsessive lover could be, you know, an old boss. They were so in love with the money. They were so in love with, you know, making you look bad. They were so in love with saying bad things about you. That's the obsessive love. So don't always take it as someone that you used to be with, because it could be anybody that used to be a part of your life. 39:39 on the clock. I got the victory. Got the victory. Whoever this is has been exposed as a swindler, and they're jealous of you. I got the victory. That's shaking things up for real, for real. Wow. Maybe even their mother feels like, I wish I would have miscarried you. Again, lesson. God's got a lesson with their name on it. Ooh, they're gonna be reaching in a craze trying to, what is the name of the, yeah. They didn't know while they were on this pirate adventure to go be, overtaking things, this, that, and the other. They didn't know that they were going to have to be accountable for their own broken hearts. That's not something they saw. They didn't see that they would have a broken heart, number one. Now that they see it, they didn't know that they were going to have to take accountability for it. That's a huge lesson to learn in life, is accountability for yourself. Worry about yourself. That's also a thing that I don't understand about people. Like when you say things, it's like, are you the only person that I said, like, that whose lingo I'm using? Because worry about yourself was this little girl in the back seat when her dad was trying to help her put on her seatbelt, and she was like, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Do you think the little girl, is sitting there, like, she's probably excited about it? They need to get excited that you even found any morsels of anything that they ever did in your space. I don't care if you was like, ooh, I'm going to use the same Excel spreadsheet that they was using, to keep track of my such and such. They should just be grateful. They couldn't connect with Earth because they were doing too many sacrifices, animal sacrifice. I don't know what animism means, but we're about to find out. They couldn't worship nature because they was using it so wrong. That's like you going out catching a bird in a tree so you can break its neck. And come on now. How do you expect nature to work with you and for you when you out here using nature the wrong way? Animism. What does it mean? Some of these people, the reason why is because these were their soul. It's like an attribution. Animism means the attribution of a soul to plants, to inanimate objects and natural phenomena. The belief in a supernatural power that organizes and animates the material universe. Yeah, they was all wrong. They couldn't see themselves looking at flowers and watching, spending a portion of their day, 42-24, watching the flower blossom at their lunch desk. They couldn't find any pleasure in that. Oh, collective crazy. They talk about they working with the flowers. Okay. Is that because you don't know how to work with flowers that you have such an aversion to this? You created your own ethical religion. You know what I mean? You created that through abandonment and poverty. And that's why their abandonment is resulting in poverty. Because they were so devoted to who this person that they were following said they were. They were so devoted to that person. They were also very devoted to making sure that they would reach some type of financial level once they were finished unaliving you. They were so devoted. You see what happens when you don't even care to see what happens with them. All you is focused is on, all you focused on is keeping your distance and separating from these people. Ooh, wow. This don't look good. So I said somebody's mother or something, right? Somebody's family is turning on them. Like, it feels like a Holocaust to them. They feel like they just being lined up. Pew, 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 pew. These are obsessive lovers, all kinds of lovers. Again, this could be an old boss whose family is like looking at them like, what did you do? Some way, somehow, these people's, whoever's around them knows. It's in the air. I can feel it calling in the air right now. That's why these people are separating them. They see this person's greed just led them to their own, imminent ending. And they don't want to be a part of it. That's a lot of the reason. There was a horn that honked just now. They don't want to be a part of it. That's the people who are sitting there learning their own lessons about accountability, and they don't care how brokenhearted the collective is during this period. Did anybody care about how you were? Essentially, if this is something that they invented for you, collective, if this is something they wanted for you, why would they have the same, energy for them? You've been Goodness gracious. Evangelical. You know what an evangelist is? Somebody who goes out and spreads the good word. An evangelist, somebody who goes out and spreads the good word. You been out there spreading the good word? All right. You don't be out there talking mess about people. You don't be out there. And here's the thing. I want some people to understand. There's a difference between talking mess and speaking the truth. There's a difference between talking mess and speaking the truth. If you are fat and the collective calls you fat, they are not lying on you. They are not defaming your character. They're speaking of it. Okay? If collective be out there saying your breath is heavy, it's because your breath is heavy. If the collective say your foot is big, it's because you wear a size 15. Come on now. They want to try to say, oh, collectives, so what? So what if collective said this about you? It's true. What'd you say about them? Was it true? Probably not. That's why you're in this. You just had to follow along with all the all the rituals. Ooh. 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 Ew. So, with their mind being in unrest, right? Because of themselves watching their money just disintegrate. They got $1 to their name. They got one pentacle left that they left hanging on to. These people are going to be in the energy of needing a caretaker. I keep reminding myself of that client who showed up smelling like sulfur. And then when they explained to me after we met up and looked at these places, that she was saying, oh yeah, he changed his mind about this, that, and the other, and he's now this, so we have to wait, another year until we can actually, do what had you drive all the way out here to try to do. That person became this person's caretaker. There's some rapper's girlfriend who's now saying that she's the caretaker of her rapper boyfriend, who I don't even know if he's rapping anymore, but like that she says he is bipolar and schizophrenic, right? That might be why it's coming up heavy in this reading. But if you've ever been around someone that's like that, I watched a relative of mine get married and have a child with a woman. And she thought that it was just going to go fine. She was being given money by my family to take this on, to be this person's caretaker. I kid you not. It got beyond what she could do. It got beyond what she could handle. And the whole time she was suffering. She had to get in that Eight of Wands energy and find a new conclusion. And, it was all the buzz when she got, remarried and had a new boyfriend and, all this other stuff. But they had a lot of stuff going on in their family that, and, it leaves these people feeling deceived or betrayed, right? And it's forcing them to to switch up how they're doing things. It was no accident. This is nature based. It was no accident. This is natural. This is how it had to go. With my name on it. There we go. If you thought I was lying about the material loss, there it is. Well, whole time they're going around stinky. Somebody really do stink out here. Philosophical faith, again, is coming out here. That material faith, that material loss is equating to that philosophical faith. Just like I said, I don't have to make anything up. Not a thing at all. With my name on it. Look, this is how they are in their mind. People are even pointing and showing them the path that they've been walking. That might be you, collective. People are showing, like, everything is pointing. This looks like a piece of wood, like a branch off a tree, but I guess that's somebody's hand. Like, look at what you've been doing all of this time. That's why you're such and such, such, such. Then they got this demonic looking hand over here, which is what was kind of like, oh yeah, remember I guided you down this way? That's that demon in them talking. Remember I guided you down this way? They got other people out here like, yeah, tapping them on the shoulder like, good luck. Best of luck at that. Best of luck. You got your name on it, collective. As far as I'm concerned, your name is Six of Coins, Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. That's what your new beginning is made on. Look at this. Look like somebody whose hand was burnt up in the fire, and they still came out with that piece of that branch, that new beginning with burnt up arms. So be it. I got what I came here for. I saved this piece of wood. It's not burnt. The collective's future ain't burnt. Look, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, can't even. Can't even pretend like it's not the end for them. Oh, financial success, strong business relationships, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. Who is this collective? Is that you? In this autonomous energy? Look at that. That's you looking in the mirror. Like you are the mirror. Ooh. I didn't realize that. Or is that a throne? Either way it goes, it's yours. You look in your mirror and you don't even see, like it's so beneath you. All of these shadows and, entities and whatever. There's even somebody, trying to get your attention from behind. Nah, we hear you. We ain't fixing to look at you though. Kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. If you were to turn around and give them one more glance, you would be, dust. You focused on what you're supposed to be focused on, collective. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. All right. Dang. This person is in the process of figuring out, like while they go through this material loss and trauma, that came out at the beginning and the end of this reading. While they're sitting here all alone, having to travel this road of understanding, knowledge, and depth, this whole philosophical faith energy, they're experiencing this material loss. They will experience it from the beginning to the end. They have to get through this energy of having accidents. They have to get through this energy of not being able to connect with nature. They have to get through this energy of feeling like they need help without the money. Was that just the Emperor and the Empress that came out? Well, I mean, you tell me, collective. That's what I saw. I just saw the Emperor on his throne and the Empress probably doing a dance for him. She's all decorated. She looking good. Because you knew this is exactly where your diligence, your knowledge, and your attention to detail was going to get you. You the big queen. This is all to your benefit. Okay? For you planning, for you being competent, for you working with God, with the universe, with nature in the right ways. You weren't out here sacrificing animals. You were sacrificing the relationships, the thought processes, the energy even. You sacrificed energy. You was like, I ain't even going to put that energy. I ain't even going to give that person my time of day. Like I said, you learn. Oh, they said they in my energy. Hang out. Chill a bit. Dance around if you feel the need. You like it? I love it, baby. That's the energy you've been in. You like it? I love it. They want to sit in your old energy and the energy of who you were before you resurrected your entire knowledge and encompassed everything that puts you into the position that you are in now on your throne. On your throne. On your throne. You don't believe me? What the scripture said this morning. I ain't even gonna tell you how long it's been since I've even done that because it doesn't matter. The fact that if I can pick this up and it's still bringing me good news, there's not always good stories in this Bible. I could have ended up on any page this morning. Hell, I could have ended up on a page where it's saying so and 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 so. I always felt like those. I'm like, what is going on when God be saying that to me? What do that mean? God's working on things. That's what I equated it to mean, just to help these poor unfortunate souls out. What is this here? The Daughter of Sticks in the reverse. Okay. This is the Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Page of Wands in the reverse. They can't even think of a way. Like I said, like I was saying earlier, it's definitely that Page of Wands in reverse. Like it's like when I couldn't get to the mountain, I could have had a car to get to the mountain, right? I just didn't have the time. That's where they're at. There are things out of their control that limit them from being able to do the things that they'll even learn to know. It's like everything that they find that teaches them the lessons and is helping them to see things clearer, etc., is going to be taken away from them too. They don't get that yet, that's a part of the process. You are going to go, for those of you who are them, okay, because I refer to y'all as them in my readings. Those of you who are them, 54:45 on the clock. You are going to go through these phases where you find something that connects you with nature, and that this and that 54 on the clock, etc., where you feel like, okay, I'm getting it, I'm understanding, I'm getting closer to God, and yada yada yada. Boop. That's what come out right then and there. As soon as they start to meditate on themselves and start to get closer to themselves, it turns in reverse. You don't have a car now. Okay, you got to figure your way out of that. Are you going to spend up all your money on an Uber to go get there? Do you have the money for the Uber to get there? If you can't get the car fixed, it's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's going to be all, just saying. As soon as they think they got it going, okay, I'm connected with nature, I'm doing this, and boop. I'm trying to tell them, collective. I'm trying to tell them. Did they think that what they saw happening and playing out in your life was by their hand, or did they understand that it's the hand of God? God allowed you to go through these things so that you would know how to make a way. And that's why you also believe that God is within you. It's the God in you, collective. It's the God in you. Well done. Well done, collective. Well done. Well done. I'm probably going to listen to those two songs when I get out of this reading. Yeah, baby. You realize in those instances, like, okay, they're going to have to dig deep to find that too. Because it's not. Dang. Some of these people, this car was like, clup, boop. They're not even. They're not even going to, I'm getting a couple things from this. They're not even going to be able to use their imagination. Like the imagination that they could have used to help them to see multiple ways to do this, that, and the other, to assess things right, to look at the reward, to change their direction. Like I just said, all of those things going to be taken away from them right then and there. It's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Every time they think they assess something and they get in a reward and that they change the direction and trajectory of their life. Bye. They're going to be broken back down. Look at that. As soon as they feel like they got a basket full of stuff on their head, as soon as they feel like they got the sheath to conquer the snakes. Oh yeah, I'm cutting my grass, getting rid of the snakes. Yeah, okay. As soon as they realize that they've gotten a piece of the part, like I said in the other reading, it's one thing, but it's got three things for you to learn. It's one thing that you're accepting, but it's got three things for you to learn. You go back and watch it. They're going to end up in this energy, running away, having to run away from people, places, things, lifestyles, beliefs, thought processes, ways of making money, all of that. They're going to have to run away from all of that, lone wolf style, and enter that energy of understanding the hidden dishonor that they had a part in. What is she putting into that pot? Ooh, they're going to have to heal themselves real good. Ooh, God's got a lesson with their name on it. They're going to be trying to figure it out. And every time they feel like they figured it out, it's going to be gone. They're going to wonder why, too. Because didn't you, collective, you wonder, like, well, why is, God, what is you taking that away from? I worked so hard for that. I worked so hard to understand the purpose of having this. Why is it being taken away from me? So that you can see that there's much more to it. So much more to it. Woo. God's got a lesson. With their name on it. It's that caretaking energy too. Ooh, wow. They gonna be seeing you, collective. They all gonna be looking at you like, can the collective help us? No, 58. No, you don't mirror the collective's energy. Ow! A whole little 3 cars came out for, it's only 2. Because they gonna be reminded of all the lies that they spoke. All the truth that they failed to acknowledge when you would tell them. All the truth that resided in you about who you were and what you were doing and what you said was what you said. I said what I said. Now, everything that they said, all the lies that they spread, all the untruths, all the misconceptions, they chose to believe whatever they believed. Ooh, that's why they're going to be feeling like they're in this caretaker energy. What is this? This is the Magician in the reverse. Yeah, they going through that spiritual battle. They going to be feeling like a piece of cattle. Real talk. They're going to be reminded of all the ways that they used herbs and spices to bring upon 59 on the clock. Because it was in the reverse, though. I'm just reminding you. This is them. This is the energy they worked out of. Trying to hold you back from your will. Trying to hold you back from your manifestations. This is the energy that they're in now. By nature. Because everything that came out here seemed pretty natural to me. The smells, the rest, the connecting with earth, the meditation, spending time. It seemed pretty natural. It seemed pretty natural and inevitable to me. Yeah, they don't like that part. They don't like that. All of the stuff that they felt like they were putting upon you is upon them. They see it. They feel like you out here. They still, if they hold to this mindset, you see it came out with the lie. If they hold to the mindset that something that's happening to you, especially when they get into this energy of not being able to rest, not having no money, and feeling like they need somebody to help them. We already saw that's where they're going to be. What is this? Ooh, what is this? Ooh, they're going to be reminded. And this is the what is this? This is the hangman card. They're going to be stopped in that thought. That's what I'm getting from here. They're going to be stopped in that thought. You know why? Because their crown chakra's messed up. They throat chakra's messed up. They heart chakra's messed up. You see that bullet hole? They're going to be out here wounded. Wounded. What I tell you the other day, even their grandchildren will be afflicted. What I told you. I'm getting this working in the reverse too. Their grandparents, if these are young people, they're going to watch all of this happen. Somebody that they, thought they was about to get some money to help take care of. You was going about it in the wrong way. Oh, gosh. Anyway, we tried to tell them, collective. We tried to tell them, worry about yourself. This is how they going to feel. They know it's not you though. They know, and they know, and they know, and they know. They know it's not you. They know that everything, because of the way it looks to them, they see everything that they put out there for you being a part of their actual everyday lives. They see everything that they put out there for you being a part of their actual everyday lives. They see everything that they put out there for you being a part of their everyday lives. They have the burden of responsibility to face their defeat in their loss and accept the crisis that they're in. Ain't no way out of it. God's got a lesson. They gonna see exactly what we meant the whole time when they were like, it was only looking like that to you because we was out here still learning. You thought we was out here becoming victims to you, but actually we're becoming the victors over you. They see it now. They gonna see it again. What's this one? What's a new pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Dr. Buzzard, huh? Oh! And like I said, until they get through this process, right? Because it's going to start and end the same way. It's only going to have different things happening. Somebody might even have some dogs attack them. If they was wishing that on you, if they was envisioning that for you, where you would get eaten alive by a pack of pit bulls or wolves while you was out there, coyotes when you was out on that mountain, if that was what they was wishing for you, collective. Look at that. They won't even feel like they know how to balance those skills out until they get through all of this. And then there's still more to learn because that's the first level. It's levels to this. It's levels to this, huh? Is it levels to it? It's levels to it. You pass every level. You didn't care it was level 99 and you got to level 103 and you was like, God, I thought I was finished at 100. God said, put these 3 extras on it. Because there's 3 things to learn. And that just came to me automatically. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, they're going to be sitting there waiting for that cycle to change. Waiting for their ancestors to start revealing things to them. That's what they're going through now. They're going through all the losses, all the things that you went through, all the trauma that you experienced, all the PTSD that formed in your head, all the mental instability that, was caused by the circumstances of your life, collective. they're going to have the same exact experience. That's what they're going through right now. And they just sitting there thinking like, when are my ancestors going to show up? When my ancestors going to show me some love? They're going to be trying to go back. Okay, well, at least I can trust cousin so-and-so. No, you can't. No, you cannot. You want a collective to be out there in the dirt all alone? Hey, guess what, collective? I ran across something on my feed. I know you're probably tired of hearing about my feed, but it be feeding me. So I ran across something on my feed that showed a lady who showed you how to get yourself out of quicksand. Believe it or not. She actually put herself into quicksand so that she could display to others how to get out. Sound familiar? You let yourself be a part of this. Again, that's a part of that accountability lesson, right? That you learn. Now you're a free man or woman. Now you're a free man or woman sitting there with that cycle, which all your ancestors taking pictures of you because why? You the shiz naive. They were so not aware that this would be the outcome. They were so not aware. They was taking pictures of you so they could show people, yeah, you see them up, here you see them down. Collective only fall up. Collective ain't falling off. Collective fell up. That's what they didn't see. Oh, they was mad. They gonna stay mad. You mad, huh? What you mad at? You angry. I ain't trying to argue with you. Maybe that's something you used to, collective. Argue with them when they would come up in the readings. You know, as like this and that and this and that, arguing with, you know, they're going to be arguing with tradition. No, I know this is the right way to go. I know I'm supposed to be out in nature. People going to be looking at them weird that they used to go fake it to make it in church with. I'm just saying. I got to follow my intuition. They going to be all kinds of opposition on that road. Oh, you hear collective? They over there talking about they following their intuition. Yeah, honey. They gonna make collective feel so small every time they begin again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Count to 103. Every time they keep going. That's what makes this process so hard. They made it hard for you, or so they thought. They thought they was making it hard for you, huh? That's what they thought, didn't they? Didn't they? They made it easy for you, right? They made it easy for you to stay on your path because you kept seeing what they was doing. You was like, nah, I'm not about to sacrifice no baby goat. Not for you, fools. That's some good eats. I am not about to. This them. Target on their head. A rope around their neck. A bullet through their chest. That's how they gonna feel. That's how restricted, though, in those 3 ways. That's how they're going to be restricted every single time. Okay, I learned how to do this. Okay, I learned how to do that. They think and they still going to be held back. Just money falling out their pocket. They can't even get it. They trying to figure out where it is. It's falling out your pocket, fool. What is that? The 10 Commandments on a tablet? It's funny because I was telling my son, I said, don't worry, your to-do list is not as big as you. And I explained the analogy that I put in the reading yesterday about, you know, like even if you made a list, tons of lists, it couldn't outweigh you, right, collective? He gonna say, well, not if you write it on a tablet made of stone. I said, then you just making your work harder for yourself. I ain't fixing to do that. He always got a way to try to tell me something. I was like, you sound like you making it harder for yourself. You ain't finna trap me with that. You ain't finna tell me something I don't already know. Yeah, they gonna really have to look at that person. This is the hermit card. They gonna be out there like, okay, we need to gather these pieces of wood, get some mud together so I can make me a hut. They probably put someone else in that circumstance too. I know there was another reader that I used to see online like maybe 2-3 years ago, and she was just out in the wilderness and she just embraced it. She sure did. Then there was another one who thought that she was, the best of the best of the best. And she ended up in the same scenario. We took a shower in the river, trying to make the best of their new beginnings. Look at that hand. It looked burnt up. Yeah, you and this Queen of Pentacles, you was like, I already got burnt up. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't even know where it was at, collective. I think I'm gonna get one more deck and then I'm gonna get out of this. Maybe two. Maybe two. Maybe. All right, what else is out here? Yeah, they didn't understand that all of this that was happening, all of the things that you endured and that you were working on creating and understanding and, manifesting and working into your favor that you had to do alone, that was divine. That was the divine showing you. That was the divine leading you, guiding you, showing you how to do what you needed to do for you. Also called self-love. Yeah, they didn't realize either that was your initiation. They thought that they was wrapping you up and tying you up and bounding you to. They didn't know you was gonna get through. Yeah, that's because of your loyalty. Like I said, you stayed on that path, right? You stayed on that path. You didn't let you didn't let it get you upset that you couldn't get up to the mountain and go hike. You just found solace in whatever presented itself. What's next for this? Dang. Now they have to figure out where their highest self is, who their highest self is, how to connect with their highest self. They have to figure out how to equalize that for themselves because the card flew over here like it's not even on their board yet. They can't even comprehend the highest self until they get their minds right. They're being told to just go and do it. They're hoping that they have protection during this process, but it's like, listen, like I said in that other reading, people be out here all the time talking about my ancestors. God got my back. You got your own back, or is you out there sticking your neck out? Like, they gonna have to watch it. It's a tread lightly situation, especially with these people that be around them. It's gonna be harder for some people too to walk away from these communities and these people and just go by yourself. Meditation. Look, it's right here. Walking meditation. That's what we're looking for the answer for right now. That's what they looking for the answer for, but I'm helping them with these cards. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Ew. Ew. This is sacrifice in the reverse. They thought that they were sacrificing you. They're realizing they shouldn't have even tried that. That's what I'm seeing here. And they didn't realize how much they were going to have to sacrifice. That's what they're going to learn too. It's going to be like accident after accident, after thing, after thing, after thing. Like I told you, it's already written. Look, karma came out. It's already written. It's already written that they'll need to take this path in order to restore themselves. They thought they had you. They was sacrificing you, collective. They was out here singing and hollering and everything else. To the moon. Howling to the moon. Now they're going to have to learn how to be in that energy for themselves. Oof. Well, that's a lot of cards there, yo. Connecting with the earth has a lot of cards. Oh. And I gotta use them all. All right, look. Where they had all this sorcery, everybody that they connected with, everybody that they did this sorcery, this dark spell work with, because look, it's in the dark, right? Everywhere they sprayed up and put out this perfume, made this aroma that they tried to put around your aura. They're going to have to become a revolutionary because of that. They're going to have to revolutionize their way of thinking, their way of behaving, the people that they might even change the way they dress in this process in order to be able to have the power to create anything for themselves again. Essentially, they cannot manifest or create anything else new for themselves until they create a revolution. Let me look up the word silicon because that's what's here. And it always gives me like the brain. Silicon, every time I see it, is always to me like the brain. Because our brains are crystals, right? Silicon Valley. I don't know. I know this thing better quit listening to me. It wrote Silicon Valley for me. Not that that's not the most common thing, but come on now. The chemical element of atomic number 14. Used in making electronic circuits. Wait, it's getting good now. Pure silicon exists in a shiny, dark gray crystalline form and as an amorphous powder. So basically, it's like, it's a shiny, because they're in this dark energy, right? That's where they want it to be. So now they have to move their way out of this dark, right? The dark that they put themselves into, right? And they have to purify themselves, because pure silicon does exist. Like, it does exist. They can do this if they want to. What is amorphous powder? Ew. Ew, this is nasty work. They have to do this without clearly defined shape or form. They have to do this without knowing, because they were characterless. What is that word? What is connuberation? It sounds interesting. Connuberation. It's a celebration. Ooh, it does have a lot to do with these people. Wow. It has a lot to do with all these different towns and places and groups, etc., that came together against you, collective. They're going to have to face that too. Dang, they're going to have to remain pure while they're facing this. I told you they're about to be in the spiritual battle of a lifetime. I hope that they make it out. Although I have lots of doubt. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not going to lie. You might as well just call it none. I have no faith that these people can make it through what you made it through. You know why? Because you didn't start from a place of darkness. You always had the light within you. They don't have that within them. But anyway, if they can do this, it will be a celebration. But what I'm understanding from this is like the enchantment. This is a celebration. These are celebrations that they'll have to have on their own. Every time they realize something new, every time they learn a new lesson, it's not like they get to call somebody and be like, oh, I figured out the such and such of the such and such from when I did such and such. That's not a part of it. They don't get to celebrate with other people. It's an enchanting celebration. It's basically like a thumbs up from the divine, right? Okay, keep going. That's what they're going to be getting. Keep going. You see, there's only one cup on this. They're going to be doing this solo celebration energy, having to find the enchantment. They're going to have to find that within themselves to be able to celebrate their own things that are being revealed to them, things that they're learning along this journey. 1717 on the clock. Yep. Along this journey of resurrection. And every single time they'll get a little bit closer to their ancestors. What I'm understanding is it's not resurrecting them in this moment. It's resurrecting the ancestors that are there to help them through this. Yeah, in this void. It's helping them to get them through this void. So they'll start to learn more about their ancestors once they start to do this and how to properly connect and bring their, what is it called? Bring their, what is it? It's the line. Bring their lineage into the right position. So every single time they are going to start to realize, oh, yeah, okay, that's my ancestor, maybe it's Yemaya. Maybe that'll be one of the first ones that they get. But as they do this, they'll start to understand about, these different ancestors and what they represent. And they'll be hoping that it's like the end, but essentially it don't happen like that. It's just a thumbs up. It's a pat on the back. Good job. Keep up the good work. It'll be one of those. Keep up the good work. Yeah, that's basically helping them to dig deeper, because that's what you have to do, right? Right? Deeper within themselves. Not into, the actual dirt to bury a jar on the collective. Yeah, it's going to bring them back down to that. Whatever they put in those jars and buried in the dirt for you, yeah, they're going to be digging that out emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. That's what they're going to be doing. They will have to understand how Mother Earth is a life giver. Didn't we talk about somebody outside bathing in the river or something? Can't make this up. That is going to be where they actually... Oh, yeah, because it says... that Yemaya represents Mother Earth, the life giver. So they're going to have to understand not only their ancestors, but when they get those ancestral lessons and they get the thumbs up from their ancestors for figuring something out, and they're in this solo celebration of like, my brain is working again in my awakening, because they're going to be in a psychosis. It's almost going to seem like they're losing it, because they are. You have to lose everything. Well, ain't that a Bible verse? Anyway, essentially, that void is where they'll realize about so once they pass that understanding and get into that depth of their, the thumbs up, once they get a thumbs up from their ancestors, then they'll start to work on that celestial counterpart of themselves. Yeah. They'll start to get into this energy of celestial wisdom. Basically, like I said, everything they did wrong, everything you did to me. Essentially, that's what's happening. They'll start to learn and be made aware of the wisdom that they should have had during those times, of the wisdom that they were denouncing, the wisdom that they were refusing to acknowledge when they did these spells. Like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this because you're working out of this negative energy and trying to put it on somebody else, when essentially you should be working on your cleansing. This natural way of doing things. Who is Osusi? Osusi. I like it. Osusi. Sorry, I didn't spell it right. It put osmosis. Yeah, they're going to be wishing they could go to sleep and just wake up and it be something different. Osusi. I spelled it right. Let me try one more time. One more again. Osusi. Oh, like I said, Osusi is the tracker who has the keen ability of astral travel. So they're going to be tracked at every moment, just like they felt like they was watching you and they was using. That's what they're going to be feeling. Maybe people are going to be watching, like, I don't know. We don't run with those crowds. So we don't know who's going to be on them the way they was on us. We don't know who's going to be trying to make their path harder, just like they was trying to make our path harder. Osusi, the tracker who has the keen ability of astral travel. Yeah, that's when they're going to begin that astral projection kind of energy of that. Those are the battles they'll be facing after that. So like I said, it's going to switch into the celestial. I can't make this up. I'm just too smart for that. Yeah, they're going to have to be able to challenge things in the silent energy. Because again, they can't tell anybody about the celebration, because every time they get the thumbs up, it's just another thing to be learned. Ooh. Ew. Wow. Because Osusi is going to be on them. It says Osusi holds significant role in Yoruba mythology as the divine hunter and the judge. So basically, once they stop and start that process, or start and stop, or start and complete the process of understanding some of the things that they did in the material world, then they have to learn and start to understand and gain the wisdom about what they sent up in the spiritual aspect. They're gonna be crossed up with every single thing that they sent out. Osusi is revered for his unparalleled hunting skills, like nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Osusi is known to track that. Anyway, and just when they thought they was up for breath. Wow. Okay, this hit that card, so it has some significance there. Wow. And it's basically what's going to happen then is basically they can no longer be silent about anything. They're going to be in this energy of accountability, because this is the silence card in reverse. So whatever accidents they caused or felt like they were trying, or whatever they were trying to cause, like I said, in the spiritual realm, whatever they were trying to cause in the spiritual realm is going to bring them back right into this accountability. Hey, listen, I'm going to give you a cheer for those of them that's in this energy. Be aggressive. B-E aggressive. B-E-A-G aggressive about learning your lessons. Shoot. Not aggressive against others. That was never a part of your stability. It was a part of your blueprint to the downfall. That's for sure. It was a blueprint for you, collective, huh? For you to figure out your stability, right? Stability of mind, stability of heart, stability of nature, stability of money. That's going to be the hardest part for them, especially since I'm singing it. That's going to be the hardest part for them, is to watch you with all of this union, with all of this connection, with all this motion and confidence, with all this endurance. And then on top of that, because you went through judgment and then awakening, you're going to get money? The world is about to shower down dollars. All right. Let's talk about the stench. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. I said, let's talk about the stench, and the Essence card came out in the reverse. Like I said, it's not something they can wash off. They're going to have to do a lot of spiritual baths. Spiritual baths are very close and counterparts to a baptism. It's only something that's done solo while you connect with God. Reconnect, if you ever knew. Listen. That essence, like I said, it's like the essence here looks in the upright. It would be so beautiful. Can it be that it was all so simple then? If they had only held that truth up and had held their and used their ancestors for good. Oh, wait, yeah, it was in the reverse. So they're going to have to surrender to the fact that they stank. They stank mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. Everything's stanky. Funk stankin'. Stank booties. That's the part that they're going to have to let go of. That's probably going to be the most trying and tumultuous for them. I'm understanding. Like they know they're going to reek of desperation is what I'm understanding. The way that they're going to have to like let go, that's going to be okay. Because I was just saying, like, I have no faith that they will make it through this, because when you don't have the finances, you do feel destitute. Making my way above water. My son saw an episode of Good Times. He was like, don't look like good times to me. Temporary layoffs. Scratching and surviving. And you're going to be over here dancing in union. Just beyond what they thought she would accomplish. Beyond where they are in their circumstances. I don't think I need to pull no more cards. I think I did it. I think I done it. I think we done. Anyway, I hope that this has been helpful and insightful in some way, shape, or form. Oh, rest on this holy word. I just laid my head down on this Bible over here that I was telling y'all. Rest on this holy word. That's all I can say for these people. You know. I don't know. It's not from, again, where did you see somebody supposed to hold their hand? They're going to feel like they want somebody and need somebody. You might as well just go ahead and sleep on that, because it ain't going to happen. I tried to tell them, collective. I hope this has been helpful and insightful in some way, shape, or form, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm not pulling no more cards. Goodness. It's like, give him one more. Give him uno más, baby. Oh. Ooh. Yep, it's because they had this dream and idealization of other people and what they were doing to be a part of something that ended up being overwhelming. Now they're going to be in this energy of being patient and waiting for what they want and only getting what they need. I just need a drink of water. You remember them days, collective, where it was like you couldn't even afford to go get a coffee. You just went to the store to look at the machine and know the price when you had $1.38. Yep. That purification to resurrect the secrets that resulted from the power. The power that they exerted against you. Yeah. Now's the time to have faith in yourself. You people who did so wrong. Don't worry about it. Have faith. Have faith in not worrying, because now is the time just to, get into your north node. Get into your north node, baby. Anything else for these people? All right. I cannot make this up. Wow. This is a full-time job, ain't it? Look, again, this one was still, look how my hands. This is, have faith. Don't worry about it. Now's the time. Don't you worry about a thing. They're going to be trying to, they're going to be looking back at the relationships and the beauty of possibly and potentially having you, even if they never admit it, they're going to realize, like the example that you left for them, they're going to realize also that this is a full-time job serving. It's a full-time job. That's why they only get, a lesson at a time. And granted, it's going to feel like a full-time job. It is a full-time job to serve the Lord. Like, what you think you working part-time in the army of God? We stay ready. Yeah, they're going to the only energy they'll get is to confront and face themselves. I'm seeing force themselves to, move forward in this process. That's the only time they'll get any energy. Otherwise, they're physically, emotionally, mentally, financially depleted. All right, hope this has been helpful. Catch you in the next one. Later.